BBC One at 9:40. But now let's move on to motocross. Now, when we talk about motocross, one guy seems to dominate the scene there, Dave Thorpe. Now, he's won the World Championship twice, and he's also the British champion, and he's held that 4 times as well. Well, today it's the third of the 6-round Lyng British Ferries Championship. After the first 2 rounds, which we featured on Grandstand, he's in the lead. So that's how he goes in round 3. This is the second race of 3, and Murray Walker commentates at Lyng.
And there they are, and in the foreground of your picture, number 5, Jem Watley on the 250 Suzuki. When the start official stamps the pedal, those T-pieces will drop into the ground, they will surge away up the hill, and the second leg will be on. And it's go! Another scintillating start from Andy Nichols. Andy Nichols, number 8 on the Kawasaki, in the blue helmet, leads up the hill. And I can't see Dave Thorpe in the first half dozen, but in second position is David Llewellyn. In fact, it's a stream of Kawasaki riders, that distinctive lime green livery. First, second, third, fourth are on Kawasaki's, and then in 5th position it's Rob Andrews. So Dave Thorpe has clearly got some work to do. In fact, I can't see him in that picture. Kawasaki leads 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Andy Nichols going superbly in the red helmet. Number 6 is Rob Andrews. Number 5 there is Jem Watley on the 250 Suzuki. And Dave Thorpe has definitely had a bad start. This is an indication of the man's class, that the news is Dave Thorpe having had a bad start, but Andy Nichols has had a tremendous one. As I say, he led very convincingly at the beginning of the first leg. This is the man who has been bitterly disappointed not to get an official ride. And down, almost down goes Nichols. He just got a prod in time there, and that gives a chance for the second place man to come up behind him. This is still, I remind you, on the first lap in what we expect to be a 14-lap race. Nichols has recovered his poise. In second place behind him is 21-year-old farm worker David Llewellyn from Dyfed. Andy Nichols comes from Sulhamstead, and soon they will come over when they go round this right-hander, they climb the hill, turn left, and then drop down the other side of the hill to complete the first lap. And it's Nichols leading, it's Llewellyn in second place, coming up fast, incredibly, is Jem Watley on the 250 Suzuki in 4th position. Now down he goes, and in 3rd position it's Derek Roberts. And Thorpe is well down the field. In fact, Dave Thorpe is in 21st position. And he's carving through the field already. This is undoubtedly going to be a copybook ride from Dave Thorpe after a far from copybook start. But is the dominant world champion going to lose out on his unbeaten record in the British Championship so far this season? Tremendous scrap at the front between the 2 Kawasaki's. There is Thorpe. Now let's watch the world champion and see how he deals with having had a bad start and the necessity to claw his way up to the front. From 21st position. There is and a change for the lead, as you see. Number 34, David Llewellyn, 8 years experience. The man who won the Western Supermare Beach Race National Race last year. The sandy conditions here are suiting him. It's not heavy sand like the Dutch circuits have. It is comparatively light, hard compacted underneath sand. But number 34, David Llewellyn on the Kawasaki, leads the second leg of the 3rd round of the British Motocross Championship this year, here at Lyng in ideal weather conditions. The course is in prime condition. He has displaced Andy Nichols on the Kawasaki to 2nd position. In 3rd position, it's still Derek Roberts, 19-year-old Derek Roberts. And Llewellyn, of course, will never have been in this position before. This is the most important ride he's had, to be in this position in a round of the British Championship and really putting it across Nichols. There is the third place man. And Jem Watley on the yellow bike is in 5th position on the 250. Dave Thorpe is still not in the top 10. There goes Dave Thorpe through the picture. And they stream through, and a new leader, because down has gone number 32, number 34, David Llewellyn. The leader is again number 8, Andy Nichols, on lap 2, 12 laps to go. Each race lasts about half an hour. It is 25 minutes plus 2 laps. Each lap is taking about 2 minutes and 15 seconds on average. Thorpe is up to 10th position. And there is David Llewellyn, who fell off and has dropped in the process to 10th position. Obviously a bit rattled because he's got pressing very hard indeed behind him now. Martin Cole, 19-year-old Martin Cole on the KTM number 23. The KTM seems to have turned into a Kawasaki, but there it is. And here is the leader, definitely on a Kawasaki, taking the concrete ramp jump, going to the top of the hill, turning left. His front wheel will leave the ground now as he soars downhill. There it goes, and it's Andy Nichols on lap 3. And I will give you now, next time, the gap between Andy Nichols in the lead and Dave Thorpe, wherever he is. Thorpe is in 15th position now. He's come up from 15th to 21st. It's going to be a very hard race for Thorpe to get up towards the front, because there he is. You see, he's got a tremendous gap in terms of time between himself and the leader, who is on his 3rd lap. 11 laps to go at the end of this one, the leader being Andy Nichols. Nichols is actually leading now by a convincing margin. He comes into my sight, down the hill. Nichols completes another lap. In 2nd position, it's Derek Roberts has moved up into 2nd place, then Llewellyn, and Kurt Nicholl is up into 5th place. As you look at the race leader, I'm still waiting for Dave Thorpe to go through past me. I see him now. He's got a gaggle of riders in front of him, and he's taking them left, right and centre. But the gap now between Dave Thorpe, the leader, well down, and Andy Nichols, who is leading, is 28 seconds. 28 seconds then separates this man, number 1, British champion for the last 4 years, leading the British Championship this year, leading the World Championships this year, after having won in Spain and France, the World Champion of 1986 and 1985. Number 1, Dave Thorpe, fairly scything his way through the field. He's now up to number 34, and that is David Llewellyn, who had led and is now in 9th position, and he's been taken by Thorpe. So Thorpe is now in 9th place, and we're watching the world champion to see how he copes with the opposition. Jem Watley has slowed right down and is touring in. Watley on the Suzuki, who was at one time in 5th position, and look at the way Thorpe is riding. He's got the red mist now, no doubt about that. Look at the sand, you see, very loose. You've got to get it right there. Putting the power down, 64 brake horsepower coming out through the rear wheel of Dave Thorpe's 500cc, 2-stroke, single-cylinder, water-cooled Honda. He is on lap 4, 10 laps to go at the end of this one. The race still being led by Andy Nichols, with Derek Roberts in 2nd position, with Julian Clark in 3rd position. What did I say the gap was? 28 seconds. Well, Andy Nichols has just gone through. 2nd place man is still Derek Roberts. Up into 3rd place now, Rob Andrews. And there is the leader as Rob Herring goes through. And here I see Dave Thorpe, and the gap between the man you are watching, Andy Nichols, and Dave Thorpe is 18 seconds. So Thorpe has gained 10 seconds on the race leader there, on the green Kawasaki, Andy Nichols. And as you look at Nichols, I will tell you that behind him in second place, Derek Roberts on another Kawasaki. In third position, the man who was second in the first leg, Rob Andrews on the Honda. In fourth position, Kurt Nichols on the Kawasaki, number 2. In fifth position, it is Julian Clark. In sixth position, it is Rob Herring on the 250 Yamaha. And Dave Thorpe, at the end of the previous lap, was in ninth place, but he's gaining. Andy Nichols there. The winner of the 250 Belgium Grand Prix last year. Sixth in the British Championship last year. Fifth in the Streatley Hills first round of the British Championship this year. And Nichols is currently 11th in the British Championship of 1987 after 2 rounds. The first round at Streatley Hills in the middle of March, and the second round at Hawkstone Park. Watch the bumps. See the way he rides the bumps. Now he's down in the saddle. In a moment he'll stand up, get his weight off his backside, let his knees flex and take the shot. And in motocross you have to be super fit. Your stomach muscles have to be like iron. You have to have tremendously strong arms, tremendously strong thigh muscles, because you are fighting a machine all the way around the circuit. Now Nichols is coming through to complete his 5th lap. And a fantastic gap. Strap behind him now for second position. Look for the fight for second position. Behind Andy Nichols, you will see 4 riders together. There is the leader, Andy Nichols. 4 riders absolutely together, and here they are. In second position, 27, Derek Roberts. There he is. Right behind him, Rob Andrews, number 6 on the red Honda in third position. Then in fourth position, Kurt Nicholl. There is Nicholl, number 2, and in fifth position, Rob Herring on the left on the 250 Yamaha. And Andrews is up into second position. Rob Andrews, second in the first leg, number 6 on the red Honda, is up into second position. Fifth in the Spanish Grand Prix World Championship race this year. Fifth in the British Championship this year so far. Rob Andrews I'm talking about, and that's Rob Herring. Young 18-year-old Rob Herring in the white outfit on the predominantly white 250 Yamaha, riding a superb race in 5th position. Rob Andrews up the hill, chasing the leader, who is still Andy Nichols. Dave Thorpe is up to 7th place now. He's closing on this pack. Dave Thorpe, world champion, is closing on this battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th position. He's going to be with them fairly soon. This is lap 6. Thorpe is riding a masterly race. There he is. Thorpe's at the back of that lot. This is Rob Andrews in 2nd position. There, behind him, is number 27, Derek Roberts. There's the 2nd place man. There is Roberts. In 4th position, it is now Kurt Nicholl. There's Andrews. Thorpe is closing. We are now halfway through this race. And still in front, I remind you, is number 8, Andy Nichols. 4th in the first leg. He's leading this leg. And there is Dave Thorpe. There was Dave Thorpe. Up over the crest come the midfield men. Number 17 there, Rob Meek on his 250 Honda. Here is the leader. This is lap 7. That is number 8. And that is Andy Nichols, 21-year-old Andy Nichols, riding the race of his life. He's lost his opportunity to ride in the 500cc World Championship Series. And there is Thorpe. Thorpe closing. He's closing on Rob Herring. And straight past, no. Rob Herring on the 250 Yamaha keeps off. Dave Thorpe, world champion on the 500, down goes Thorpe. What a terrible fall! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness, I do not like the look of this one little bit. Dave Thorpe, let us hope that he is not hurt and is only winded, because quite apart from the tragedy of this race, he has the World Championship Series before him yet. Obviously hit something askew, lost the Honda altogether, terrific speed, and looks to me as though he is very badly winded. Let us hope it is no more than that. Dave Thorpe, the world champion, down on lap 7. Meantime, here is the race leader, Andy Nichols. Dave Thorpe has definitely... And that is number 6, Rob Andrews, who was in second position. So, the Hondas are in trouble. Dave Thorpe off, Rob Andrews stopped and has lost his second position, which he fought so hard to gain. Still in the lead, Andy Nichols. Andy Nichols, there he goes. I can tell you that meantime Dave Thorpe is being checked over by the ambulance men, the St. John ambulance men, who as ever are doing a sterling job here at Lyng. And now Andy Nichols is convincingly leading, and up into second position has gone Kurt Nicholl. Kurt Nicholl, who finished in third place in the first leg, is in second place in the second leg, and Nicholl is second overall in the British Championship. There is no doubt at all about the fact that, for all the wrong reasons, unfortunately, Dave Thorpe's unbeaten record in the British Championship of 1987 has been lost, because he is not going to finish in this leg, let alone win it. And that is Kurt Nicholl chasing the leader, Andy Nichols. Kurt Nicholl from Newport in Essex, son of Dave Nicholl, a brilliant ex-motocross rider himself, a member of the BSA team in the past, the famous BSA team. There's the man he's chasing, Andy Nichols, getting cross-threaded as he leaves the ground, puts the Kawasaki on full lock in mid-air, gets the front wheel straight again before it lands, and is vital to do that, and is really, really pressing on. So, of this, the 8th lap out of an expected 14 laps, Andy Nichols continues to lead. Kurt Nicholl behind him. In third position on the 250 Yamaha, a brilliant performance. Number 14, Rob Herring. In fourth place, it's Derek Roberts on the Kawasaki. In fifth position, it's Burbin Anstey. And in sixth place, it's Julian Clark. With sorrow, I tell you that I fear that Dave Thorpe is going to be taken away in the ambulance, and we will, of course, let you know what the problem was and is in terms of his well-being as soon as we know ourselves. Meantime, Andy Nichols has completed 8 laps. The gap between Nichols in the lead and Kurt Nicholl, who is in second place, is 7 seconds. There is the race leader. Now, 8 seconds behind him is Kurt Nicholl, but Kurt Nicholl in second place, number 2, is only just ahead of Rob Herring on the 250 Yamaha, who is riding an absolutely inspired race. There's Nicholl. There is Herring. This is the battle for second position. There is 18-year-old Rob Herring from Dillsborough, on just out of your picture now. That's Kurt Nicholl. Well, Andy Nichols is riding an absolutely fantastic race, showing, not that anybody needed convincing, that he has every right and all the ability that's needed to ride in 500cc motocross. And Rob Rob Herring is absolutely fantastic. When you bear in mind that Kurt Nickel is the Kawasaki Works #1 rider, and he is riding a bike with twice the engine capacity and 1/3 more power than number 14, Rob Herring's 250 Yamaha. Herring's really got the message now. He went to South Africa when he was 7 years old. Last year he won 6 of the support races. He used to ride Kawasaki. He's performed brilliantly in the Belgian indoor motocross and the Bellevue Stadium motocross. He was a member of the British Motocross Nations team, finished second last year. And he's been in Florida testing this year, and he's now right up with Kurt Nickel. And right on the rear wheel, Rob Herring on the 250 Yamaha, right on the rear wheel of Kurt Nickel's 500cc Yamaha. Dave Thorpe has been put into the ambulance to be taken away for checking. I repeat that we will let you know what the problem is as soon as we have official news. I don't want to speculate until we have. But meantime, the gap now between Andy Nichols and this tremendous scrap for second place is down to 5 seconds. 20 minutes have gone. There is the leader. There is Kurt Nickel second. Behind him is Rob Herring third. 5 seconds. These two are gaining on Andy Nichols. Is Nichols tiring? And in fourth position now is Mervyn Anstey, 7th in the British Championship so far this year. This is the 3rd round, and there are still 3 rounds to go in the 6th-round championship. Well, what a brilliant race from Rob Herring. He's only 18 years old, and I was saying that he went to South Africa when he was 7 years old. He's come here. He rode superbly last year to get into the top 40. It's the top 40 of British motocross that are riding here today. And I was talking to him earlier on today and asked him why he wasn't riding a 500, and he said, I have plenty of time for that. I'm 18 years old, and I want to get used to really forcing a 250, using the power to the maximum before I go up to a 500. Well, all I can say is, heaven help the others when he does so. There is the leader, number 8, Andy Nichols, 21 years old, and he is on his 10th lap. The gap had come down from 8 seconds to 5 seconds. He's riding across the bumps. There is the ambulance in which David Thorpe is, and as you can see, he is on his way to the medical centre for checking over. Andy Nichols. Andy Nichols leads that from 8 seconds to 5 seconds. What is it this lap? He's almost home now at the end of this lap, which is lap 10. 4 laps to go at the end of it. He drops down the hill. And the gap between Nichols and Kurt Nickel in second position is down to 3 seconds. And Kurt Nickel is less than a second ahead. Well, you can see what the gap is. Less than a second between him and Rob Herring. Kurt Nickel, 22 years old. Famous son of a famous father. And Dave, the bearded Dave Nickel, is here, and a very proud father he must be now. His son is 6th in the World Championship this year, so far. 2nd in the British Championship. Dave Thorpe's points will be confined at this meeting to the 20 points he scored from winning the first leg. All the points count, of course, and he had 120 points, a maximum of 6 times 20 from his 6 winning rides at the previous 2 rounds, 3 legs each round. And that is Rob Herring. Now, Rob Herring is well ahead of Mervyn Anstey, number 3, who is on the KTM in the Yamaha in 3rd position, 4th position. That's Kurt Nickel there, number 2. 6'2" when he stands up in his stocking feet, a bit more than that in his heavy motocross boots, which cost about £150 a pair, incidentally. And to put all the gear on yourself that you need to go motocross racing at this level, it costs about £400 for the boots, the trousers, the t-shirts, the helmet, and the body armour, and see the way Kurt Nicholl now is right with the leader. Kurt Nicholl has clawed his way up to Andy Nichols, has pulled away a little from Rob Herring, and now I think Andy Nichols must be tiring. This is lap 11. We still have 3 laps to go at the end of this one, and Rob Herring is still with them both. Marvellous motocross. This is what real motocross is. It is not mud, it is not water, it is not slush. It's fast, sunlit riding in colourful gear at tremendous speed with great spectacle. And this is the spectacle, and there is the new leader. Kurt Nicholl leads. Andy Nichols goes down to second place, and it looks to me as though the amazing Rob Herring on the 250 Yamaha may even be taking Andy Nichols in second place before this race is over in 3 laps time, including the one that they are on. We wait now to see the official go out with the board to say 2 laps to go. Then to go out with the yellow flag with the black diagonal cross to say 1 lap to go. And Kurt Nicholl now, with 25 minutes gone, will be surely seeing that board at the end of this lap. And number 8, Andy Nichols, who finished 4th in the first leg, has lost his lead to Kurt Nicholl, both of them on Kawasaki. Now watch number 14, 18-year-old Rob Herring. There is the leader, Kurt Nicholl. Tall, blonde, one of his hobbies is fishing. Can't imagine a much greater contrast between the cut, the thrust, the noise, the speed of motocross, and look at Herring! And the peace and calm of fishing. What an appropriate name. Rob Herring then, chasing the fisherman, and he's up into second place. Andy Nichols must be tiring, because Rob Herring now, I've talked about the ride of his life, but this is certainly Rob Herring's, in my opinion, even including his great victories in the Belgian indoor motocross and the Bellevue Stadium motocross, because he's in second position. He's seen off everybody on their 500 machines riding his 250 Yamaha, except number 2, Kurt Nicholl, who must surely win. Kurt Nicholl has the experience. He has the poise, he has the calm, and he has a superb machine in the Kawasaki. And as he completes the lap, he is now 2.6 seconds ahead of Rob Herring. Andy Nichols is definitely virtually touring now. Not by my standards, but by his. Nicholl flicks the machine, the Kawasaki, well over 60 brake horsepower from that 2-stroke engine going through to the back wheel. Up on the rest, down the hill. And the trick in motocross is to make the bike and the course work together and not against each other. Because if you get the timing wrong and the bumps wrong, you can be off in a trice, such as the speed that they go at. And on the 13th lap, and the next lap will be the last one, this is the race leader, Kurt Nicholl, on the Kawasaki World Championship team leader, second in the British Championship. And when he started the British Championship, he was some 37 points behind Dave Thorpe. Well, he'll get 20 points for his win, and he has still got the 3rd leg to go. So the British Championship at the end of this afternoon's racing here at Lyng, the 3rd round of the championship, is going to be very, very close indeed if Nicholl does well in the 3rd leg. Unofficially, and I emphasize unofficially, we have the news that Dave Thorpe looks okay on being checked over, and I hope, as I guessed at the time, that his problem was nothing more than a severe winding, because he came off at a terrific velocity. Kurt Nicholl gets his foot off the ground to avoid the knee injury that can happen if you put your foot down and the knee joint is bent in the wrong direction. That's quite a frequent motocross injury. Kurt Nichol gets the yellow flag with the black diagonal cross. He is on his last lap. But where is Rob Herring? Rob Herring has gone missing. In second position now. No, it's Andy Nichols. There he is, and Rob Herring behind him. So Andy Nichols has retaken the second position. I would guess he either came to a standstill or maybe even came off and kept the engine running. But whatever, Andy Nichols is now in second position on the last lap. Kawasaki leads. There it is. Kurt Nichol, the rider. Kawasaki second. Andy Nichols, the rider. 250 Yamaha third, with Rob Herring aboard. In third position, Mervyn Anstey. In fourth position, it's Derek Roberts. Fifth is Rob Andrews. And in sixth position, it is Jared Smith on yet another Kawasaki. Nichol just casually looks over his shoulder. He's a happy man now. He's got it made. The bike is obviously in good condition. There, number 28, Carl Shaw, has been lapped. He is very well down the field. But there is Kurt Nichol. What a very stylish rider he is. See the front forks compress as the weight goes onto them as he goes downhill. Takes a nice easy line round that slow right-hander, feeds in the power, builds up the speed, climbs the hill, and Kurt Nichol is not so very far off the checkered flag and victory for 20 points in the second leg of the third round of the British Motocross Championship here at Lyng in ideal weather conditions. He is climbing the last hill now. He only has to turn left at the top, go down the hill, and he will see the checkered flag. A very fine win, his first win in the British Championship Series this year. He is right on top of things. The winner, Kurt Nichol on a Kawasaki. Has Rob Herring been able to do anything about Andy Nichols? And the answer is no, because there is Andy Nichols coming towards us now. He finished fourth in the first leg, second in the second leg. There is Rob Herring. He was sixth in the first leg, third in the second leg. A superb ride. Next man over the horizon is Mervyn Anstey. Mervyn Anstey, there he is, finishing in fourth position. In fifth position behind Mervyn Anstey is Rob Andrews on the Honda, and in sixth position, Derek Roberts. The result then of the second leg, 20 points for Kurt Nichol on the Kawasaki, 17 points for second place for Andy Nichols, 15 points of super well-deserved, 15 points for third place man Rob Herring, 13 points for Mervyn Anstey in fourth position, 11 points for Rob Andrews in fifth position, and in sixth place 10 points for Roberts. And the good news to finish talking to you on is that Dave Thorpe is perfectly okay. Now, this is how Dave Thorpe lost it. There he is on the right, and you see the way he's flung off the machine, tucks his shoulder in at the last moment, and has all the wind knocked out of him and just lies there for a long time. But he has been retrieved by the ever-willing, ever-helpful, very efficient St. John ambulance people, taken to the medical centre and adjudged okay. Thank heavens for that.
And we hope that Dave Thorpe will be able to ride in the third race, and that will be in round about an hour's